How important do you think it is that they have done those short-term deals, knowing you have potentially Baker Mayfield, Myles Garrett paydays on the front, and you know that they put some money into Conklin and Hooper, young guys, but they didn't really do a ton of it after the first 2 years when they know they've got the Bills coming with guys that they're certainly going to want to keep.
Yeah, they have to iron out who they're going to keep. I mean, like Myles Garrett feels like a lock. He probably is a lock if he continues to play as well as he's played. I mean, the last year's issue didn't help his case, but he's going to be a cornerstone. You don't know what Denzel Ward's going to do because Denzel is a little injury prone. If he has a great year this year, they'll look at probably locking him up. But, you know, if he has another year where he only plays 8 games, start to question whether he's going to get that big second contract. Same with Baker Mayfield. We think we're going to pay the quarterback someday, but the quarterback's got to continue to prove he's worth the amount of money that he might demand. So there's some mystery in terms of some of these young guys that we've thought, well, we got to pay him. Well, we don't know yet. It's a big make or break year for some of these guys from the 2018 draft class in terms of looking at their long-term future value, and it'll get interesting. It's going to get turned over a little bit, but yeah, I mean, they did a nice job of securing the immediate needs that this roster needed right now, so that they didn't have to draft based on need and could do more best player available. But they also kept an eye open and said, hey, we don't want to bury ourselves, so that when the future comes and if some of these guys hit big like we hope they do, we plan for them to do, we have the money set aside to pay them too. So it's been a pretty sound structure for me so far.
The other thing is, it sure seems like they're giving the offense everything it needs to be successful, so they can make a accurate judgment on Baker Mayfield. You know, if you go out and you get that tackle that you think they may get at number 10, you've given them the bookend tackles that you're thinking of. You've given him a tight end. He has the weapons in a running back and wide receiver. It's kind of like, okay, show us what you can do. Is that kind of what you're getting at with Mayfield this year? The pieces should be there for him to have the success they expect.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they saw what he could do his rookie year. They really liked what they saw from him. Had a bad year last year. The more things that trickle out in the media and the more things we hear about how the operation was being run, it's not overly surprising. But Baker also didn't play well and didn't make great decisions. So he does have to prove it. And I think that, like you said, Dave, they've done a nice job of really saying, we don't want there to be any gray area on whether we think this guy can be what we expect him to be. There is no hole on the offensive line, presumably, if they fix left tackle with the draft or maybe one of these veteran free agents or trades. They will patch that hole at left tackle and have a really good offensive line. They'll have 2 pretty dang good tight ends, 2 really good wide receivers, and 2 phenomenal running backs. So it's like, hey, man, you got the keys to this thing. Take off with it. Do what you need to do. Show us you can win football games and put up numbers. You even have one of the most quarterback-friendly schemes. So there truly is no way around it. Baker has to play well and he has to produce. And if he doesn't, they're going to have to start poking around at quarterbacks again at some point in the near future.